So for this application activity number 2, I will be listing the principle that is taking place, either positive or negative reinforcement, or a negative or a positive punishment. So for the first one, it's Bella the dog gets her snack after she returns to her crate. This is a positive reinforcement because Bella getting into her crate results of her getting a reward, which is a treat. So now every time she's supposed to get into the crate, she's gonna be motivated and expecting to get a snack or a treat. Number 2, you put on sunscreen to avoid a sunburn. This is a negative reinforcement because you're trying to avoid getting that really bad sunburn. So putting the sunscreen will prevent from that to happen. Number 3, Emma texts in class and gets recess time taken away. This is a negative punishment because since Emma decided to text during class, now she's gonna have less time to enjoy during recess, which is something that she enjoys and something that she was probably looking forward to. But because she decided to text, now she's gonna have the reaction of not having as much time as she wanted to play in recess. Number 4, Jeff fights with his spouse and does not get to sleep in the bed that night. This is also negative punishment because Jeff and his spouse got into a fight. Him not sleeping in the same bed is his punishment for having said fight. Number 5, a child misbehaves and gets a spanking. This is a positive punishment because even though nobody likes to get spanked, this is going to help the child in the future to behave correctly or think twice before committing the same action again, because that child will remember that because he or she did that, the spanking was in a result. Number 6, you submit assignments late regularly and you get a 0. This is also a positive punishment because even though you got a 0, which sounds negative, but it's also prepping yourself in the future to stop having that behavior of constantly turning in everything late or not doing it, so you don't obtain that 0 again. Number 7, you take an aspirin to eliminate a headache. This is a negative reinforcement because you're trying to prevent having that headache or dealing with the headache, so you take medicine to cut it. Number 8, you walk the dog to avoid having dog poop in the house. This is a negative reinforcement because since you don't like having to clean up after your dog, you decide to think smarter and take your dog for a walk, so that prevents from the dog to poop in the house, which leads to you having to clean up that mess. So that's a negative reinforcement, having to prevent something unpleasant, something that you don't enjoy, from happening. Number 9, Kelsey tells a good joke and her students all laugh. This is a positive reinforcement because the action that Kelsey did of telling a joke got a positive reaction, which was laughter. So it's a reward that Kelsey got for saying a really good joke. So now Kelsey's gonna be motivated to say other jokes, and the students will be a little bit excited to hear her types of jokes because they will know that she tells really good jokes. Lastly, it's Luke breaks the law and goes to jail, where he is forced to live in a small, smelly room. This is a positive punishment, the same as the spanking and the getting a 0. Since he broke the law, his consequences is to spend a night in jail, which is never pleasant. So now he has to sleep in that small room and smelly room, and he has to think, because of his action, his consequences was that. So now every time he thinks about breaking the law again, his mind will go back to him having to spend that night in jail, and that's gonna create a the positive reinforcement to not do it again, because you have learned from your previous actions, your previous mistakes. So yeah.